Hello again, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome back to the glorious city of Raptoria here in Buoyancy. We're keeping things afloat barely as we're trying to find some more resources in this ocean. So welcome back to our second episode where we're finding a lot of good food around here and a lot of good resources too. So welcome back, everybody. If you want to see more, make sure you go ahead and let me know by clicking or tapping that like button and dropping by for more and commenting down below. It's a pleasure to have everybody here, so thank you, everybody, for dropping by and cheering on Raptoria, floating Raptoria, I guess, as we now are trying to get some more food for our people. We went from like 32 population moments ago to, I guess in the last episode, down to like 28, which is hilarious because, or rather 23, because everybody just, we needed food, and we found a resource for food, and as we pulled up, boom, everybody died from starvation, which was a shame. But we are still afloat, literally, in our city as we are now gathering more resources. We've got fish coming in, and also should be getting some seaweed too in the form of kelp. And we've got our two fisher docks here doing the best that they can with the boat nearby. We're going to try to get a little bit closer here and see if we can scoot in there so the other fishing dock gets a little bit of a bonus. There we go, perfect. So now we can gather resources twice as fast and feed our people. Alright, so in this game, of course, our goal here is to try to stay afloat, literally. And it looks like there's a city over there of Daleville. We might be able to invade or possibly trade with them if we want to. So we're going to try to do that as best we can. But right now we're going to try to gather some food. So we're going to go to the School of Fish here, and then we're just going to keep jumping between as we gather resources. The most important resource of all is the driftwood pile over there. So we're going to be in this area for a while. And pardon the music, it seems to be glitching out a little bit from time to time for whatever reason. Additionally, our people want some beer in order to stay happy. Hunger and happiness are the two things that are most important in this game for our people. And of course, we're trying to keep them well-fed and happy, and also have jobs so that way they can feel fulfilled and do the things that they need to. We're building some resources in a mill over here so that way it'll solve our food problem for a while, but everything takes an incredible amount of resources wood-wise, so we need to just continue to find these driftwood piles and food. Best case scenario is we would go from food to driftwood pile to food to driftwood pile, that type of thing. We're going to go over here for a school of fish. Actually, we need to get this destroyed ship out of the way. I think we need to get a scavenger over here or something to pull up this stuff. Looks like it has scrap on board, and the only thing that can grab scrap is the scavenger. So we're going to kind of scoot around that and see if we can go to the school of fish right now. And we're trying to just scoot around that. There we go. The ship there. Every time it looks like it crashes, the city is being stopped to provide prevent a collision. So we're trying to get as much food as possible. And then we're going to try to go over that driftwood pile, unless there's more schools of fish around. There's also a whale, and it says that whale is ++. Rotting whale. Required building. I think it only gathers blubber. Oh, the flesh is still edible. The risk of food poisoning. Ooh. Flesh is still edible with the risk of food poisoning. Yeah, so that might get everyone sick. So I'm kind of nervous about getting whales. But we can find live whales out in the open. We just need to get lucky in finding them. So there we go. Let's try to move our city a little closer to get that other fishing dock there. There we go. Alright, as you can see, our fish is extremely low, only at 4. But the goal here is to raise nourishment from 39 up to like the 50s if we can. So let's make sure we sped up time and see if we can get that nourishment going. People also need seaweed. They need a variety of things, you know, meat. And we have meat, bread, fish, and seaweed, as well as beer. It looks like somebody starved to death, which is unfortunate because we got a trade request from the Bargy McBargeface has requested dock and trade with the city. All right, come on in, Bargy McBargeface. We almost have nothing to trade with. We've only got, here comes the barge. Beautiful. Somebody wants to do some trade. Oh boy, they've got a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, the only thing we've really got is, looks like steel is a big, abundant amount for them. Good. Well, I would like to take from you then a bunch of bread and meat. And some fish, too, if you wouldn't mind. We also have a butcher done. So we might be able to gather a whale and turn that into meat ourselves. And I forgot to build a bakery as well. That's one thing we'll have to do when we're done with that whole supply chain. We also have a lot of drinking water, so let's trade all that. Drinking water does take a bit of wood in order to get, but unfortunately, these guys don't need what we need most, or don't have what we need most, which is wood. So let's continue to trade for food. Maybe our prayers have been answered. Glory to Raptoria down below in that comment section. Woo! Get it done, boys. I'm excited. Let's go for 55. we might not get an opportunity like this again in order to trade. We've got a lot of grains. That would be great to trade at the mill. But we need food now. And it is going to be a long time until we see some food like this come along again. 55. Let's trade 8 plastic. 62, 69. Oh, unfortunate. We won't be able to trade. See if we can get it as close as possible to our trade limit. Always seems to be over by 2, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. Well, we'll have to take at a little bit of a loss, but food is more important. Thank you for the trade, sir. Very good. We got lucky with that one. It looks like the other school of fish is gone, maybe. All right, let's keep moving. We're going to move elsewhere. All right, come on, people. Everybody's going to grab food. Thank goodness. We'll have to find beer now if we can. There is a way for us to refine it from a brewery, so we'll have to see if that comes around. We have literally nothing to trade, so no need to go to trade posts anymore. Very difficult to see in this game at nighttime. Nourishment was a huge... Whoa, look at that. All this stuff is gone. Everybody ate everything. A bunch of hogs. Boys, wow, that is crazy how much food everybody eats. That is insanity. We went from like 40 to 60, though. But we had bread and meat and fish, and it's all gone. It's gone, I tell you. That's crazy. All right, there is a lot of breweries around. If we gather stuff from the breweries, we do need to refine it still, and I need more wood in order to do that. Are we on top of the... Oh, there it is, the plus over here. The scavenger is what we're looking for in order to gather everything. I can't believe how quickly everybody ate like that. That is crazy. We had like a feast. That should have skyrocketed happiness, at least. That is not going to happen too often where we get a huge trade for materials like that. Andrew thinks that you can find a better city. Wait. Andrew thinks they can build a better city themselves. Oh, so somebody just, like, left. Okay, so he bailed. He just, like, hopped off the raft and was like, I'm out. Wow, jerk, you ate all of our food and then you leave? What is this, Thanksgiving? Jeez. All right, well, let's look around for some more driftwood. Floating crates are good, but really we want giant piles of supply. More survivors is good, too, but I really need to find driftwood so we can finish building some of our structures here. I feel like we should move over this way. Maybe there'll be some resources over here. We're still gathering wood, though. 37. Look at that, boys. All right, good. The evaporator, which makes water, uses that, as well as the smelter. Good. So now we've got a lot of our projects almost complete or nearing completion. Very good. The mill and the greenhouse can be completed then. Unfortunately, we don't have all the water needed, or the stuff needed for that. Anastasia withered away due to poor nourishment. Oh, come on. There's food in the city. All I can provide really now after all that, I guess I can say I tried. I mean, we did have meat, bread, fish, and seaweed at one point for everybody to eat. But I guess that's the name of the game. That's why there's so many survivor rafts around, too. Sometimes you just gotta skirt and pick up people best you can. Better go back to that survivor's raft, then. We can also eat them if we want to. There is a chance for us to gobble up some other survivors and become caminals, yes. We're gonna become caminals, or cannibals, whatever the correct one is. I think it's Lunchables. We're gonna become Lunchables now. I preferred the cold pizza. That would be probably my favorite. Oh yeah, population's starting to drop a little bit. All right, well, unfortunately, if people get hungry, we just dump them overboard and then we grab some new survivors. I guess that's the way the game is played. All right, we're closing in on the survivor raft. Come on over here, you. We do get materials from rescuing them, too, so it could be anything. Looks like we got 10 junk, which gives us more plastic. And another survivor's raft over here, too. Man, I don't know what to do about food. We could build more and more fishing huts, but I just don't think it provides enough. And it's getting really cumbersome to move this raft, too. Ooh, kelp forest. Let's see. It seems like we've got enough wood and everything else to move stuff. Let's keep going for food. I'm going to try to keep people nourished as much as possible, get that number up. I also want to build some more fishing docks, but it seems like I can't build enough of them. The problem with building those is city mass increases, and that requires more and more rowers for us. But let's try. Well, there's policies here. I didn't see that. Some of the things are not complete in the game, so these might not work. So technology, statistics, things that are meant to be in this game are not here yet. So it will get easier in time as there's more options intended. Imagine playing like City Skylines, for example, you know, build a town, but oops, we don't have all the roads in there. So, you know, imagine like having to build a huge city, but you don't have access to avenues or something like that. It'd be almost impossible. All right, the foragers gathering all the kelp. Good. We need all the kelp we can get. A kelping hand. Let's go ahead and get some more fishers down. They bring in fish sporadically, but not as often as I'd hope. But you know what? We need more fisher docks rather than people laying around. So, and that's kind of weird. We've got 0 out of 40 delivered here for wood, and yet we've got all this wood in store. I think the people have chosen to do one project at a time until it's complete. So more resources are being brought over here. There it goes. Yeah, I can see some stuff coming in. But we need some more sand to be delivered, so the deep diver also needs to be constructed. There's a lot of construction projects here, and now we finally have all the wood to kind of get it done. So, all right, now seaweed and fish are coming in. I want to see these fishing docks get complete soon, then. Looks like they are building those. Or they're trying. Oop, that didn't sound good. Isabella's unhappy with the management and left the city with some supplies. Oh, gun her down, boys. Oh, you can leave all you want, but you ain't taking those supplies, girl. Ain't happening. What I want to do next is maybe get some trade some metal at the trading post at the Dale and Cousins Trading Co. Sounds like a reliable company, doesn't it? We're at 50% nourishment. Things are getting a little troublesome. Really trying to do better here. Backlog of jobs. Many tasks not being completed. Try expanding your city slower or pausing underutilized buildings. Oh, I see. Well, if I pause underutilized buildings, there's still a lot of idle workers. So, for example, if I pause the smelter, well, nothing's going to happen anyway because it's just going to add to the idle workers. We've got enough workers everywhere else. What is this number? Guards. 4 out of 4. Why is it 6 out of 106? That's weird. Alright, well, we'll figure that out a little bit later. The whole system's not complete anyway. Oh boy. Well, now we gotta get rolling. There's a storm incoming. Wow, Ellie was murdered by Martin? Alright, can we kick Martin off? Did he just murder 2 people now? Somebody got murdered in the last episode because of him. Alright, we gotta watch out. There's a storm incoming. And there it is. So we want to move away from that monstrosity. Where's it going? Looks like it's coming this way. Trying to judge it. Okay, looks like it's rolling to our left, so let's roll right. There we go. Watch it just swing right into us. Woo, we were lucky with that one. Okay, let's stop at the trading depot here. Try to trade some of our metal. Oh wow, people are really going crazy now without food. We're trying to keep it as best we can. 50% is not enough. They do have meat for us though, but that seems to disappear immediately. Oh yeah, we also have all that whale. What happened to all the whale we bought? Seems like they want to trade water, but we have plenty of that. You also have some fuel, I see. Maybe we could try to build a bakery. That does require water though, I believe, the bakery. So let's trade 30 and buy some fuel too. Alright, let's confirm trade. Seems to be very hard to get a perfect trade. Can we demand resources? Oh, demands were unsuccessful. Let's demand resources again. Well, there was that other... we did see another city at some point too, Daleville, but essentially that's like we can recruit. It's essentially just like a trading post. You have some additional options though. And the city is moving away slowly with a lack of rowers as we get bigger and bigger. Okay, we really need to see... I don't know why this building... some of these buildings haven't been completed. Construction project progress is at 0. We should have plastic and things. Some of these projects are not being complete. Although we do have the supply. They should build... all stuff should be distributed equally. From what I've seen with experience here, everything is to be distributed equally until it's done. So no, if supplies are needed somewhere, they shouldn't be sitting at the... they shouldn't be sitting at a thing. We do need to find some more survivors now. Luckily, food consumption has reduced. Oh, there's a lot of resources in front of us, though. Well, let's try to just plow right through this stuff. Also, the supplies are constantly moving. You can actually see there the red line. They're actually getting closer to it, so we need to kind of catch this stuff. Looks like we can blow with the wind. I wonder if there's actually sails in this game. There's only motors, so I don't think we can actually have any sort of sails to help us along. Not from what I've seen. No resources like fabric or textiles or anything like that in order to do that. Alright, hopefully we can find some more junk. Actually, 5 junk should be immediately transferred into plastic. Once we've got these rowers coming to a stop. We need more people to do all the backlog. Yeah, that's the problem. But even when we're stopped, there's still a backlog. Let's see if there's survivors around. Try to get these going. Oh, Matthew tried to impress everyone, and oh boy, deaths happen randomly. Like, we need that. All right, people are hallucinating like crazy. Oh boy. We're not getting lucky with resources out here. Oh, there's a school of fish and a destroyed ship over there. We need to get our population up into the 30s to work all of our jobs. There seems to be a big amount of things that can happen that will go wrong. People hallucinating, juggling knives, stabbing each other. Nourishment is also a thing. So your population is always dying. There's just some things you can't do for that, I guess. We can't build a school to tell people it's a bad idea to juggle knives. Alright, actually, let's turn off this building. It is a good idea, because if I pause, that'll redistribute the workforce, so we can do that now. So let's turn off some of these jobs that are not functioning. I think we'll turn off the guardhouse. Oh, level 1. Oh, the longer they stay here, they actually gain levels. So let's leave that on. What do we have here? The evaporator. Should be... Oh, see, I see it needs 5 things there. Okay. We're down to 18 workers. Oh, boy. Well, when we find that school of fish there, that should help us to stabilize the food resources. But again, it's all RNG too on what we discover. I could discover 5 kelp forests in a row and a trading post, and you know, we could get all the right things, or we could find nothing. So that all is dependent on that. Okay, I really want to leave the guardhouse alone. Evaporator, I think we could turn that off. Oh, looks like we did. Worker status dead. Oh, that's pleasant. Alright, let's go try to get those fish. What if there's a... I don't think there's a way for us to rotate the city. Where's the fishing docks? Alright, let's make sure we've... I think we've paused all those. Let's try to move the city around this. Trying to get everyone to row the city so that we can move the fishers over here. Oh, this is taking, yeah, this is, look at it, it's taking 6 months for us just to move the ship. Just trying to get these 2 fishers into the circle. Meanwhile, 2 people have died in the time that this thing has gone from 0 to 100 real slow. Okay, we're almost ready to lock in here. More trading posts around, but not too much we can trade with. Well, at least we've got all the wood now. So let's see if we can get that nourishment back up. Okay. One of the fishing docks is doing well. Just trying to get that other one in so we can gather fish much more quickly. There we go. Alright, and then as soon as it stops, it'll freeze here in a second, and then we should be good to gather resources. There it is. Perfect. Exactly what we want. Alright, 6 out of 8 people doing their jobs. We have 1 whale. Happiness is a problem, yep. Lack of beer. A lot of trading posts around. We could trade for some metal. We trade out metal for something else. Alright, well, let's pause the guardhouse. Go do something else. We need some help. Villagers are unhappy. The city needs more beer. Yeah, we'll have to see if we can find some. It looks like the villagers are gathering the rest of the resources that are around. And salvage is coming in from the destroyed ship. Interesting. We got rid of 4 guards, and they haven't become specialists yet. They must be gathering the raw resources that are being brought up from previous encounters. Dylan does not approve of the state of the city, and Grayson also grabbed supplies. Wow, these people don't want the city to survive, do they? What a very difficult game. Seems like there's a lot of reasons people will leave, and or die. That is always a constant struggle. Happiness and food. It's all about whether or not you can find it. We're trying to build these greenhouses, but production is immediately halted. There we go. More fish coming in, though. We're on top of the school of fish. Medicine huts, motors. Look at all the cool stuff we can get. I have not seen an alive whale, but man, if we found one, that should bring in like 100 meat or something like that. And when we traded earlier, everybody ate all the meat, bread, fish, and kelp that we had instantaneously, and it only brought our happiness up like 20 points, or 20%, so that's crazy. Hopefully we can see these greenhouses completed soon. I probably built too quickly, too fast, considering that we needed more people and stuff and more food, but there is a lot that everyone requires in order to survive. We probably should have went with one greenhouse here. Can we deconstruct? Scrap resources will be returned. Good. Let's see if we can scrap that. And we're still trying to bring in food as quickly as possible. The fishing hut is bringing in fish over and over and over, but it's zeroing out here in the food supply. So efficiency is 90%. People are just dying even though we're gathering food. It's very strange. There's a school of fish here. They're visible underneath the water. These bars are filling up. There's a ton of supply. Oh, wait. All the supply is here. Look at, wait, all the stuff. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't notice these towers until recently. What if we pause these buildings and have these guys go bring the stuff in instead? Let's try to bring... Oh, I didn't notice that. Let's pause all these buildings and see if everyone will put the resources into the storehouse. So 124 is what we need for apparently... Oh, 100... Oh, I see. That's the... Okay, the number to the right is not how many people are really required to do the job. It's how much supply are there. Oh, my goodness. We've discovered something at a really perfect time. Ooh, now it's really becoming a nail-biter. Can we come back from this? We've got seven people in the... 6 people in the... 5, 4 people, 3 people... No, we're down to 6. This is going to be a problem. Oh, wow. People are eating the food right away. This is interesting, though. You can see how the food is brought in. It's kind of funny that I missed all these giant towers like that, but that's where we went wrong. But I'm really surprised that these greenhouses weren't complete despite the people actually transporting stuff. All right, well, let's wait for a little bit and gather up our supplies. Villagers are hungry and need more food. Well, we're bringing in fish. I mean, literally just bringing in fish after fish. Each crate is full of supply. Let's go ahead and pause the evaporator. You guys do your thing. Let's pause all this construction. Trying to click pause. That doesn't seem to be working. Wow, even with all the supplies stacked here, 6 people are eating 3 or 4 fishing docks worth of supply. That's amazing. Maria left to build a better city with blackjack and hookers. All right, Maria, you go do that. Wow, I think we're dead here, boys. That is it. City Raptoria number 2. It's going to be a learning process to understand exactly how really to expand. This time I tried to go for speed in order to build the city as quickly as possible to accommodate for all the resources, but it seemed to overstretch the amount of... we were bringing in a lot of supply, but it was gathering at the buildings and not actually being brought to the town center where it needs to go. But I will say, in this point, with 5 people doing nothing but bringing in food nonstop from the fishing docks, that's still not enough. That's still not enough. All right. Well, should we do this again? Shall we build another city of Raptoria with options missing from the game and with it just being pre-alpha? I think there's really a lot that we could do in this game. I'm excited to play it more and really see a successful and thriving city. So let's do this. I will come back for another episode. If you click or tap the like button to show some more love, I'm going to do another city. We'll have it pre-built a little bit more in advance to this city, and we'll see if we can build one that's just as big. And we'll kind of continue on as if nothing ever happened, and we'll just rebuild Raptoria again and again and again until we actually get it right. Here comes the storm. Ooh, and it zapped one of our buildings. The guardhouse was destroyed by the storm. And same with the Forger. Wow. You want to avoid those storms, baby. They are deadly. All right, we're down to 4. It seems like everyone else is going to leave because they want to go have hookers and blackjack. So All right, so things that we've learned is that we should probably build multiple fisheries, and then we just need to get lucky with supply. But I think the greenhouses, we tried to do things at the right time. We just didn't have enough people to actually transport the supplies. So lessons learned. Very good. All right, everyone, thanks for watching this episode of Buoyancy Part 2. Show your support on this one. If we get up over 1,000 likes, I'll continue on with our third city. Otherwise, we'll check it when there's another update. So thank you, everyone, for all your support. This game is fun. And very challenging, too, so I don't think we're meant to survive for long without getting really lucky. It's kind of fun, actually. So, I'll see you all next time for more, and check this game out on their Twitter with the links in the previous episode. All right, I'll see you all very soon. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Hey, just because we're beat, we'll only learn from our mistakes for the future. All right, everyone, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and glory to Raptoria. Goodbye, everyone.